Hello everybody, this is Dr. Amjad Razal and welcome to my channel. And I am going to explain what is meant by a lesson in this video. The teachers try their level best to make their lessons effective and fun. They try to integrate technology, add activities and the other learning tools so that their classes become more productive and promote real learning. And some teachers struggle a lot to do the same thing in the classroom and they find it very difficult to be more productive, to prepare for the lesson or to make their lessons effective and fun for all their learners in the classroom. So in this video, I am going to explain the 8 components of a lesson that make every lesson amazing for all the teachers, no matter if they are working at a school in a city or in a rural area. There are 8 components of a lesson. The first one is preparation, the second one is background building, the third one is comprehensive input, the fourth one is strategies, the fifth one is the interaction, the sixth one is practice and application, the seventh one is the lesson delivery, and the eighth one is the review of learning. All these 8 components make a lesson stronger, make it more effective, more productive. As 21st century educators, we need to bring all these 8 components in one lesson. You may ask me that when a teacher has to go from one class to the other class and the teacher has continuous periods, like from one period, then the next period, and she has to go to the third class, how is it possible to bring in all the components of a lesson in one period itself or in one lesson? All these 8 components make a lesson stronger, more productive and effective. If one component is missing, that lesson cannot be called an effective lesson. The very first component is preparation. What is meant by preparation here? As you can say that the teachers, when they go to different classes, they already prepare for the classes. And if there are teachers who are going to continuous classes, like from one period to the second period and the third period, they prepare for their classes, they go with all the materials they need to carry to the class and teach the students. So what is exactly meant by preparation here? The learning objectives are clearly defined by the teachers. As you know this very well, that as a curricular book, behind each and every lesson, there are some curricular objectives. So the teachers must read out the lessons thoroughly, understand the lesson, and then extract the learning objectives from those lessons. You may tell me that the teachers are the subject matter experts. They know the lessons very well. They have got degrees. They are the graduates who are eligible to teach. But imagine when you have different types of learners in the classroom, and when the teacher is spending time reading out the entire lesson, she will be able to find out the best way to teach her own students in the classroom. So the learning objectives differ sometimes from student to student. There may be the curricular objectives given in the textbook itself or in the teacher guide, but when you know your students very well, you will be able to find those learning objectives and prepare the lesson in a way that all those learning objectives are achieved by all the students. The supplementary materials are used to a high degree, such as models, visuals, charts, pictures, audiovisual aids, etc. Now you may ask me, sir, is it possible that the teacher, when she has continuous periods from one class to the other class, period after period, she is visiting different classes, is it possible to prepare for all the classes at a time? So let me tell you, the educators of the 21st century, they are prepared for every class they go to. Before going to the class itself, they keep all the learning tools, the supplementary materials prepared. And when they visit different classes, they are carrying those materials with them, the tools with them, and they give those tools to the students and they understand the whole concept using those tools. Now you may ask me, how is that, like what a science teacher can do over here? So a science teacher, when she is teaching about body parts, okay, or the different plants that we have, or anything from the environmental science or the science chapter, science lesson. So when the teacher is carrying all the images or photos or objects and that is given to the students, they use them, they see them, they touch them, okay, and they understand the whole concept in a very simple way. And the maths teacher, when she is teaching grade 2 students about shapes, she is not only drawing the shapes on the blackboard or the green board or whiteboard, whatever board you use. The teacher is using and carrying the objects that are available, which are about shapes, and those objects are now given to the students to touch, use, see them, and using this simple way, all the concepts about the shapes are directly going into the head of the children. Okay, even if the teacher is teaching about the difference between the 2D shapes and 3D shapes, now we have all the objects available for that as well. So when such objects or pictures or videos or anything like that are taken to the classroom to help the students, they understand the concept very clearly. That is why carrying the supplementary material or preparing the supplementary material or the learning tools to the class for every class is mandatory. The meaningful activities. Effective teachers, they also prepare an activity for the class, either a small one or a big one. They prepare an activity and they teach the students with the help of those activities. Now you may ask me, why this activity is so important? These activities are important as the students integrate their learning and display that whether they have got the learning objective, whether they have understood the topic or not. And this is one of the easiest ways for the teachers also to understand and evaluate their teaching methods to see whether the students are effectively learning or not. And some of you may ask me whether this activity is required for every class or not. I would say yes. The 21st century educators do this. In whichever class they may go to, there is an activity for the students. An activity is not necessarily to be for 20 to 25 minutes or 50 minutes or more than 1 hour. Then a small meaningful activity can only be of 5 to 10 minutes. And as you know, the 21st century learners, they like to do something, they like to see something, they like to watch. They want to use their hands and body movement in the classroom to learn something. So that is why if you allow the students to do something with the help of the activity, they show great interest in learning. And if you don't allow them to do this, they will be sitting in just one place and they find the entire lesson to be boring, and the educators will never become their favorite teachers. So as we know that the students are young, they are creative, they are innovative, as we are living in this modern world, that is why the students have to have an activity in the classroom. An activity can be of only 5 minutes. An expert teacher can prepare any activity only for 5 minutes in the classroom, and with the help of those 5 minutes, the children, they get their energy back, they show their enthusiasm in learning, and they try to listen to the teacher more effectively. And now the most important thing to remember, especially the educators who are watching this video, to prepare the learning objectives, the supplementary materials and the meaningful activities, the maximum time, I am saying not the minimum time, the maximum time that is required to prepare one activity having all these three things, like the learning objectives are read by you, are extracted by you, the supplementary materials are prepared by you, and the meaningful activities, the maximum time that is required here is only 1 hour. Within 1 hour you have to have one lesson having with complete preparation of three important things. And as the teachers regularly practice this, they become experts in preparing a lesson in a very short period of time. They may take 20 to 30 minutes maximum when they are regularly practicing this for every class they go to. That's it guys, from the first component, which is preparation. And to know and understand what is the second component and why it is that important, please watch my next video. Thank you.